I am your host, Carrie, here with my co-host, local historian and founder of Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Camus. As your personal tour guide, Robert will lead you through some of the most iconic sites and their legends of historic significance throughout New England's preeminent and pivotal state of Massachusetts. With his expert insights, every monument and memorial story comes to life. Afterwards, don't forget to check out his website, holyokecanaltour.org, to access the full Canal Days video and podcast series. Also, check out his free in-person public tours he offers throughout Western Mass and the 2025 schedule for these special events. You can also book personalized private tours for groups of all sizes tailored to your interests. To discover all that and much more, remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org. So, Robert, reveal another name the pond has been known as in the past.
Well, the Neshowannock was also known as the Upper Mill Pond, and thus it's upstream, farther up to the Lower Mill Pond, which is more toward the north. The Lower Mill Pond doesn't have a second name, but the Neshowannock is the name for it. Now, both of them are really reservoirs. They've been dammed up. It's specifically damming up the Broad Brook here, and it's catching a lot of water. Now, it's so much water that you think there's other brooks coming into it. Yes, there's 3 other brooks coming into it, so it's rather big. And it blocks up the water here to make a very beautiful site. We're going to visit the dam and spillway. We're in Brookside Cemetery. This cemetery was made on purpose along the edge of the Neshowannock to give a beautiful garden-style cemetery. We're going to walk the edge of the reservoir. This land that people park between the cemetery and the Neshowannock and off of Cottage Street is land that's owned by the cemetery, and they want people to come here so they can start their journey into the cemetery. The Broad Brook is to the south. It comes out of Easthampton, which forms the boundary between Holyoke and Westfield, and comes into Easthampton. And the name suggests it's broad. Yes, it's really a creek. It's really wide. Now let's go on this deck here. Constructed by the Easthampton Rotary Club, Lions Club, and New England Remodeling. Okay, so we're not going to get a great view from here because the gate's closed. And all this land belongs to the Brookside Cemetery, and they're going to leave it in this natural state as long as they possibly can before the cemetery gets filled up. The southern end also belongs to the cemetery. And in the distance you can see where the boobies are. That's the spillway. The whole Cottage Street section through here for about maybe 80 yards is the dam itself. So it's a combination earthen and heavy rock dam. Okay, so we get a closer view here, and we're making our way up to the spillway area, and it has a gatehouse to its side. Okay, and from its northern tip you can see that it's a very, very long reservoir. Probably about a mile right here that you can see. So it's quite expansive, and in the distance is the Mount Tom Cliffs. And we're a lot closer to the spillway. Okay, we're on a deck over the Nashawanic at the corner of Cottage Street. The spillway is now only about 80 feet away. And inside of here is the mixture of rock and dirt that makes up the Nashawanic Dam, or the Upper Mill Dam. Mills are going to be across the street, so I'll get a view for you. Alright, now we're on a boardwalk combined with a concrete sidewalk, walking up to the spillway area. Also has a viewing deck. Right, there's the buoys, and there's the rest of the dam. This is where the Broad Brook would go through on its natural course if we're free to do so. And you can see it's a big drop, maybe about 20 feet drop here. It's held in the spillway area by concrete walls on both sides, with a concrete bridge going over. 1957, the bridge was made has a replacement. The gatehouse is across the way still, right? So that's how much water would flow out of the Broad Brook. It's a very broad, it would be this broad if it were in its natural state, about, I would say, 25 to 30 feet across. And next to it is the gatehouse. This controls the flow of water into a former pipeline that would have gone under the road or dam and gone to the other side where the mills are. And the mills were vast. These are the Nashawanic mills that made. Okay, so this is the opposite side of the gatehouse. And we're still on the boardwalk here because they like to show off the dam and the reservoir as best they can. And it's a wonderful sight. The entire structure, of course, is supported with lots of rocks. And there's another reservoir on this other side of the street. It's called the Wilton Reservoir, Wilton Pond. So this whole area has to be made safe and inspected all the time. Just the way what this place is, are the mills that the water would be fed into here, and the water would then feed the turbines, and the turbines would spin. This was hydromechanical energy that would generate mechanical power only, not through electricity. These mills, of course, are from about the 1850s, and there's no electricity yet. And I'm going to walk you up to the other side of the spillway area. Okay, and so this is where the water would have gone into the, past the mill back into the Broad Brook, carried up to Lower Mill Pond, about a mile from here, and that's it. Now, where was the water in the tunnels to carry into the mills? For instance, that's mill number 9, it says right on it, those would have been under the road. I would have bet there would have been maybe 4 tunnels, and it carried the water at a shallow angle until it come up to the engine rooms inside these mills, right? And then it would drop it onto the hydromechanical turbines and push that. Okay, nowadays these mills are retail and artist space. So thank you for visiting.